I'm just down at the local beach today. I'm going to run through a couple of retrieval speeds for my zip baits. It's low tide today and I'm casting pretty much alongside some reef. Usually I'd probably cast right over the top of it, but I'd be snagging right up at the moment. So I'm trying to cast as close as I can to the reef at the moment without getting hooked up. First lure is the slide slim minnow, or the SSM. Probably one of the more well-known Tailor lures. I like to fish this on the surface, but you can let it sink and go under, but it's a lot more fun seeing the surface hits. To work out the retrieval speed, look at my hand, not the reel. And as you see, as I get closer to the reef, I really slow it down. It's a nice slow to medium retrieve. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I'll still rip these in real quick, but a nice slow retrieve around the reef or just over the reef is the way to go, I think. It gives you the best action. You can actually see the lure sliding across the surface of the water. If you attach the lure with a loop knot, you also get a lot more of that side to side action. Nice summer tailor. There's a lot of them at the moment in that sort of 38 to 50 mark. Not as big as you get in the winter, but some good fun on the surface anyway. My old man drove over my old Veritas rod, which I used to use, so I've gone out and bought the new Veritas Tournament 9'2". Seems to be working a treat. Again here, watch my hand, not the reel, because it looks like I'm reeling in really quick, but if you actually watch my hand, it's quite slow. You could even go slower than this if you liked. This is just very low tide, so I've just got to be a little bit careful because I don't want to be snagged up. When it tide's a bit higher, I'd literally cast over the top of the reef and then do a really slow retrieve, and it'll often get hit as it's sort of going past those sort of drop-offs of the reef where the fish are cruising past. I'm fishing the sunrise as well. First light is always my favourite time for surface hits. Because of the low tide and structure, I've got the drag fairly tight. So at this size, I'm pretty much just pulling them in. The other main lure I generally use is the Monsoon Breaker 115. So this is a little bit of a heavier lure, so it's about 30 grams and it sinks a lot quicker. The main difference is that you probably get an extra 10 meters of casting distance on this lure, and I also rig it up with just one single hook so that I can chuck it into some pretty gnarly spots. You can do a fairly slow retrieve for this lure as well, but I tend to rip it in a little bit quicker. If you move the lure around your feet in the wash, you will sort of get to see the action where it sort of slides and does these big whips, which really attracts the fish. So you can pretty much just do a straight retrieve with it and it will still give you a lot of action. Otherwise you can impart, some sweeps with your rod as you're reeling it in. But if you watch my hand in the next one that I reel in, you'll see compared to the Zipbait SSM, I'm pulling it in quite a lot faster When I'm fishing it in the river as well, I'll often do pauses, but because of all the reef structure around here, I'm sort of just doing one continuous wind. I'll have my rod a little bit more horizontal as well, until I come up to the reef at my feet, then I'll lift it up so I don't get snagged. But having the 3/0 single on the back really helps out, where you can sort of, you know, bounce off the reef a little bit, making sure you've got the hook pointed to the sky like I always say. So this one is getting retrieved in subsurface, so I've let it sink down a little bit, but you can rip them across the top as well. So if you watch my hand, it's much quicker, and I've got a larger reel in this rod as well, so it's a 5000, so it will take me in line quicker than my 3000 reel I was using for the SSM. I sort of change over to this lure when the surface bite might die down a little bit, or I'm just going to go for superior casting distance. The other thing as well, because I've got the single on there, it's when there's weedy conditions, I'll just have the one single rather than two trebles getting fouled up in the weed.
Yeah, that's about the third one. I've got it's not too bad for down here. Yeah. Thanks, mate. Have a good day.
For more Tailor and Perth Metro videos, please subscribe. Feel free to ask any questions in the comment section.